Hey everyone. I want to welcome you guys to Legal Talks and Libations. We have Toeni Hudson here. Y'all know it's been a long awaited time coming. I've been talking about it. Y'all know I've been telling y'all we was coming, trying to drop a video, just talking about today's topics, about life things, and just matriculating through life. That's really what this is. I'm excited to be here. Y'all don't understand. And luckily today's my birthday, so if y'all watching this today, it's my birthday, so we got to do it big, and we're going to do it nice today. With some of you being your first time hearing me, or being the first time on this platform, I wanted you guys to get a little bit of information about me, a little bit of information about where I come from, and basically what we're doing on this show and what the platform is used for. With that, I needed some help from someone important, someone that I needed to get these answers from me to you guys. So I wanted to introduce the president of NAACP, Mr. Eugene Collins. And I'm so happy to have you here.
Tony, it is amazing to be here. And I did not know today was your birthday. Like, you working on your birthday?
Always. Got to keep it going.
You got 6 jobs and she don't get tired.
Don't get tired at all.
Particular show. You talk Legal Talk and Libations, and I love the title, right?
Thank you.
I love the title.
Thank you. A lot of thought went into this.
What do you hope to accomplish with this show?
I actually like that question because I feel like we have multiple platforms around. I feel like there's so many podcasts, there's so many Instagrams and Facebooks where, we're talking about these topics, but I just feel as though we're not taking it serious enough, or I feel like we're not getting to the target audience that we need to. I feel like we need to have more people that, look like me, my age group, reaching out and talking about these tough subjects that goes on in today's topics that's affecting everybody. So, I want to use this platform not only to get out there, put myself out there to talk about these type of things, but I want to engage others to also talk about these things, these topics. And I called it Legal Talk and Libations because I am a lawyer, and I want to take away the stigma that lawyers are stuck up and they're uptight, always got a suit on, but we relax and we have these conversations behind closed doors. I feel like it's important to have these conversations on air as well, that everybody can talk about these things, and I'm gonna be the one to do it and keep it real with everyone the whole time.
I am feeling it, Tony, already. So you want to do this to bring education to the community, and not only that, like, show people that's from your legal profession in a different light, like that folks aren't so stuck up, and they can relate to the everyday person and come from diverse backgrounds. Because when we think lawyer, right, we usually have a certain picture in our head of who that person is, where they came from. Oh, their mama must have been a lawyer, their daddy must have been a lawyer, somebody was a doctor, she come from a good neighborhood. And Tony, with you, some of those things are very different. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Okay, I don't have the typical upbringing that brought me through law school. Like you said, there's a picture that pops up when you hear lawyer. You don't necessarily go straight to a black woman. You don't necessarily go straight to someone like me. So I feel like it's important for me to get on platforms like this and show that it's possible. And for me, I'm from Sacramento, California, and here I am all the way halfway across the world in Baton Rouge, having this podcast platform and starting something major. And I wouldn't have never thought I'd be doing something like this. So, I'm very grateful. I came from a foster home. I came from, getting it out the mud is what we would call it. Getting it out the mud and just clawing my way to the top to actually sit here today. And I'm just so thankful and grateful that, I never gave up, and I kept my perseverance, and I was determined, and I've been motivated and still motivated just to keep going for what I want. And these are one of the things that I want to accomplish.
But coming up, in foster care, you say, matriculating your way to a bachelor's degree would have been impressive. You went on to finish law school.
I sure did. I'm still stoked because I just graduated this last May, so I'm still on a high from accomplishing something like that, because a lot of people, I'm not gonna lie, a lot of people doubted me. A lot of people didn't think I would be able to go get through that because of where I came from and who I came from. I came from parents who were drug dealers my whole entire life. I lost my mom at 2 years old. So it's very important to see that I didn't let none of that stagger or hold me back. I let all of that push me forward. I'm the youngest of 14 siblings.
Wow.
I'm the only one to ever go to college.
Wow.
I'm the youngest of 14. Let me say it again. Youngest of 14. And I'm the only one to ever have made it through college. Bachelor's, and now I have my doctorate's degree. And for me, it's everything, because I want to show others like me, because there's multiple people who have we have sad stories every day. But it's like, I have a sad story, but I'm not letting that sad story stop me from my business, stop me from growing. You know what I mean? And I want to put that out there for everybody, because everyone goes through something. My life may have not been as hard as the next person, but at the end of the day, I'm still pushing forward to obtain goals and reach things that I know is accomplishable for me. When someone looks at me, I want them to see, yeah, there was struggle, but there was also progress. There was also continuance. There was also motivation. There was also, we didn't stop. And that's what I want to push. It's possible. It's doable. And my life is going to be an example of that.
From what I've learned about you so far, you remain grounded.
I try to be. I really do.
You get what it takes to get out of that struggle, but then you understand how folks can stay trapped in that struggle, right?
I do.
And you know, one of the things, me and one of my good friends, another attorney here in Baton Rouge, I have a ton of respect for him, and he's a conservative white man. And folks will look at us, how are y'all friends? Because we understand, right? And we can talk. We can agree to disagree when we don't agree, and then we can find a middle road sometimes, you know. But I use that example because he asked me a question once around, Eugene, if you can come from these same environments and make it, why are you sometimes making excuses for people that didn't? And that's a question
that's deep. That's a deep question. I mean,
it's deep.
Because, you know, you hear it all the time. People were afforded the same opportunities. Why are we going to feel sorry for the next person? And it's just like, at the end of the day, people are different. You know what I mean? They may not be able to take their struggles and overcome their struggles.
Yeah.
And that's okay to understand and realize that. And that's why I feel like it's important to have those strong-minded leaders in the community to help guide those type of people. You know what I mean? Because it's not their fault at the end of the day. Sometimes these struggles are just life struggles that you just unfortunately run into, you know? And I hate to put those type of people down. You can say, oh, they're not hustlers, or they're not doing what they can to better themselves. But at the end of the day, every situation is different. And I understand that coming from where I come from. So it's in me to help. It's in me to want to find those solutions to get those people uplifted as well.
You know, I explained it to him like this, right? In my community, there was a hole that was dug deep. And you threw everybody in that hole, right? And the only reason why some people were able to get out of that hole is because we were climbing on the shoulders of others. And as soon as we got out, some of them had to stay because you didn't have the amount of people you needed to get out, right? So some of them were okay with us climbing on their shoulders to get out, knowing that they might be stuck there. So you had that adage, right? You can see the sociology sometimes play out right in front of us. That sociology dictates that 10% of us was always going to make it, because that gives the illusion that everybody could, right? So, you know, when I hear your story, I reflect on that a little bit, and it's hard not to think back to some of the things that happened with me, because people don't often understand how hard it is. Because when you go to school and you tell folks, I can't do that because I got a term paper due, or I can't do that because I got a project to do, you're largely talking to people that don't understand.
And that's true. You know, going to an HBCU where I went to illustrious Dillard University, shout out to them. Shout out to them. And, you know, there was times where it was like, I seen it. You know what I mean? I seen those students who were given the world, and it was crazy for me to even be observant of that. It's like, I'm over here scratching, clawing just to stay on campus, you know, just to be able to support myself, to be able to do the regular things that campus provides, you know. And here we got students that it's given the world, and you know, sometimes it was unappreciative because their parents just gave it to them, or you know what I'm saying. And that's okay though, you know. At least they're still afforded the opportunity to experience college still. And you know, I've seen a lot of students come in, and you know, they left, and I've seen a lot of students come in and they left. But luckily, through it all, I was observant, and I saw a lot of characteristic traits. That's why I say I got a PhD in life. That's why this podcast is important to me, because I've seen a lot, and I can speak on a lot just through observing a lot, you know, just in college, period. So I just feel like this is going to give me the opportunity to talk about those certain things, to get deeper into certain topics, you know what I mean, to really see what solutions can we come up with for these new generations. Because, you know, they say these new generations coming up, we don't know where they stand. We don't know what they're looking like, their future is looking like, because it's getting, I don't want to say worse and worse as these generations are coming up, but it is getting worse and worse. And I feel like there's some tough conversations that need to be had, and some thoughts that need to be dove deeper into, because we're only as good as our strongest person. So it's like, we are our people, so I feel like we got to help our people.
You know, I want to talk about those generations, right? Because I hear people say that, right? And I always push back on it just a little bit, because I look at, you know, the younger generations, folks like you and younger. Man, they don't take no shit.
It's hard to when you've seen so much. Imagine the young me and how much I've heard, how much I've read, how much history they've taught us. It's hard to even understand it, but it's hard to take it, you know what I mean? And it just, on every aspect.
I think about what a quote that Louis Farrakhan, a speech that he was giving, where he talked about a warrior generation, right? And I look at y'all as that warrior generation. I don't think the problem gonna be fixed with us. We were assimilated. That's just who we are. We're very conservative when you get to my age group. I don't think the change is amongst folks that look like me at my age, right? I think the change is gonna probably come from y'all, because y'all just tend to take less. Our plight has changed in so many different directions that we're no longer unified, because the struggle ain't the same. It's different for everybody, and I'm glad you brought up that point, that everybody's different. This thing is different for everybody, and not everybody's going to matriculate through it the same way that you did. So it's important that you acknowledge that, and I think that's cool, because when we forget that, it's problematic. So that's cool to hear you say that. And at the same time, so you go to Dillard. What was your undergrad in?
I got my bachelor's degree in mass communications, emphasized in public relations.
All right. So you go to Dillard, get your bachelor's degree, head to the Southern University Law Center, right?
Shout out to Southern. Shout out to Southern. They gave me my doctorate's degree. So
even then, your challenges were unique. Like you were different. Like, tell us a little bit about that.
So yeah, like I was dealt a different set of cards. Like I said, my path was a little different. So growing up, you know, my mom, I lost her at an early age. So that caused me to go into the system. And, you know, I was eventually adopted out by an angel sent from the heaven, who was sent to really show me and guide me, and which she did, you know. But being who I was and where I came from, I just couldn't let it go. I was still trying to find my way. When it came around high school time, I decided to, you know, make some bad decisions that ultimately had me sit down and really think about what I was doing. You know, I did go to juvenile hall for a long amount of time. At the age of, I think I was 14, 15 years old at the time, I decided to, you know, commit some crimes. Thought I was grown, you know, like we all do at a young age. But this time, I had a lot of time to reflect on what I did. You know what I mean? So I sat down, and it was either, during my time in juvenile hall, it was either, were you going to continue down this path, or were you going to change and be something better? And in that moment where it was like one of those, it was a make or a break situation. I could have continued down this path of destruction, or I could have changed the narrative of my life. And I decided to change the narrative of my life. And I knew from that point forward, that lifestyle was over for me. That lifestyle was done for me. And I knew I had to do better, to want better, to get better. So with that being said, I knew once I had got out of juvenile hall, it was game time. There was nothing that was going to stop me from attaining all the goals that I knew I could get. Because all I did in there was dream and wish that I was out. So I was like, when I get the opportunity, I'm going to use that to my full advantage, and I'm going to make my life what I want it to be. And that's kind of the mindset. That's where my mindset of continuing to push through came from. It came from originally sitting in juvenile hall for making the worst dumb mistake that I could have made. And I just wanted to use that as my foundation to never put myself in a situation like that again. And also what pushed me to move forward and not stop until I was done.
And you know, that's powerful, right? And something in your California language I caught was juvenile hall. You know, because down here in the deep south, everything just prison. I mean, you go to the youth jail,
What?
you go to the juvenile jail, prison. Like, we don't even use terms like juvenile hall anymore, right? But juvenile hall has a real
better connotation to it, huh? A better sound.
Yeah, like it's almost rehabilitated, right? Like what that system is supposed to be. And when you think about that, just in pure context, says that you being here is impressive. And we tell kids that they got to change to fit into this mold, and that don't mean
that's
that.
Not the case.
Exactly.
Like
you take your dumb ass to somebody's boardroom. If you dumb, it ain't gonna matter what you wear.
Exactly.
That's just it. And I've been through that. I wear this African chain Wayne Dane made me all the time. And I wore it into the boardroom. I wore it into on Capitol Hill. I wore it meeting with Congress people. I wore it in rooms that people thought that you're not supposed to wear that chain. And I'm going to let you in a little secret here, Tony. I don't even know if I like the chain.
It's a statement. It's a statement.
It's a statement. It's a statement because you were told that you can't do it. You were told that you shouldn't do it. And what I teach my kids is that if you're good enough, all of that stuff that people tell you don't matter because they're telling you based on their limitations.
Exactly. They putting you in a box that you don't even see. So I think it's important to point those things out and know that there's no legal limitations to stay where someone feel like you should stay or where you've been grown and trained to think that you should stay. I think it's important to break those barriers and just push through and be who you are. And that's the whole point of why I'm sitting behind this microphone today. I want to show those people that, it doesn't matter what they say you should be like, what they say you should be like. None of that matters.
That's what we gotta teach our generation is that, man, get stuff done. And if you get the degrees, you get the education, you get the talent, you get the experience, you learn stuff that you can make it through anything.
Literally.
and sister, you're a shining example of that. And I hope that young women in Baton Rouge get to know you. I really hope they take time and stop and get to know who Toeni Hudson is. Do whatever you do it well. Like Dr. King said, if you're going to sweep streets, you be the best street sweeper ever. And that's what it's about. Everybody not going to be no lawyer, but this sister here is a real testament to what can happen if you just keep going. You don't let your circumstances define you.
Literally.
And that's a struggle. That's a struggle. And
it's a huge struggle that a lot of people that we know struggle with, I just feel like, it's important for us to have these conversations, really. And I feel like you said, we have all of these different platforms. We have so many. And I just feel like I want to start seeing more of the educational, more of the stuff that'll help our generation, not hinder our generation. So I really feel like that's why I wanted to do this. I wanted to have this podcast. I want to shed some light on positivity, shed some light on social injustices, and shed some light on solutions. How can we change the narrative for others, for young people, not just black, not just women, but everyone. That's what this podcast is going to do.
And I'm glad you mentioned that because you ain't a story for just women. Your story is deeper than that. Young men too. They need to see this, right? Because we don't hear that much, right? We don't hear about people that went through that system and came out and became attorneys. And it's a certain feeling that you get when you know that, man, I ain't really even supposed to be in this space. And you operate kind of with reckless abandonment too, because it's like, shit, I ain't never thought I was gonna be here, so I'm gonna say what I want.
And that's how it is. That's really how it is. When you've accomplished something and you're like, wow, you take a minute and you actually get to look around and sit in that moment. For me, there was obtaining that legal degree. I'm like, wow, I really did something here. I really accomplished something here. And for me, it humbled me. For me, it made me more hungry too, to really just do better, do more. So I just feel like I'm grateful for the opportunity to even share my story, for me to share my thoughts, share the way I view things. I'm grateful for the opportunity, really.
And it's the drive. I can tell you, I'm impressed from what you told me here tonight, right?
Dedicated to this. This is what I want to do. We're going to take this bigger and, take it better. I just want all the viewers to know and understand that, we working on this and we gonna make this something that we can really, look back and be like, okay, these are the discussions that we're having, these are the solutions that we're coming back, and we're just seeing growth and we're seeing more conversations being had about those difficult things. And that's what I really want to come from this.
What made you want to say, hey, I'm gonna commit my time to this weekly, to do this, to run behind the president of NAACP, who's very busy. I'm gonna stay on him to make sure we get this thing recorded, get it started. What made you want to do that?
Honestly, I can say that I have a lot of, I know I'm 26, but I feel like I have a lot of wisdom for not just me, but my age group, the age group under me, and sometimes the age group above me, because I feel like I bring a sense of, like you said, maybe it's drive, I don't know what it is really, but I have a sense of something about me that it just, I can understand, I can relate to others when it comes to so many different areas of life. You know what I mean? I really feel like I can relate because I've been through so much to even just sit here. So I feel like me wanting to take the time out and speak to those, and because I feel like because I'm relatable, they'll be able to take something from me. And that's really what this is all about, being able to have some viewers watch me and take something, at least one thing of what I said, and apply it to their daily lives. I do feel like I'm able to have that connection with my viewers, with the people who may come across this podcast. So with me coming to that realization, I felt like I needed to do the best thing, which was create a podcast, and let's get to talking about these subjects and these different conversations that need to be had, because like I said, we see it all day. You can get on Instagram and see the stories that's going on, but then you instantly get to see negative comments. You instantly get to see the way the world views it, and sometimes it's taken as a joke. These things are being joked about. These real important things are being joked about. So I feel like I'm going to bring a different sense to it. Like, we're going to talk and be real about it, and I want to hear the different diverse opinions and the different things that may come across. And I feel like I'm a person who's unbiased as well to the situations, so I feel like it's important for me to be a person that can talk about these things, for sure.
That's what's up, because we need more real people doing this, right? And hang around here, hang around. Don't leave too fast, because we gonna need to see you this thing through, because
it's coming.
I tell folk all the time, I've been doing this a long time, 2 decades, right? And I know with the things I've touched, the things I've done, the cases I've worked, I won't be afforded 2 more decades. And I ain't talking about death, because these folk different now. They ain't gonna kill you. They gonna kill you in the media. They gonna take away our opportunities. They'll blackball you and stuff like that. But seeing folk like you makes me grateful for y'all, because y'all the next step, y'all the next move. Because like I always tell all the members, I'm gonna be around for a little while longer, but I'm gonna tell y'all, like Liz Taylor told her husbands, I will not hold you much longer. But at the same time, I don't think you're supposed to die in these roles. So seeing young folks like y'all come up and knowing that y'all really gonna fight this thing and be about it differently too. And I'm glad you shared your story here with me tonight, as well as these viewers. And Toeni gonna be back with y'all. I might not be on here every week, but I'm pretty sure she's gonna pull me in here a time or two.
Well, you're more than always welcome to come on set and talk about it. I know you got some things to tell the world.
Especially if you got drink. I'm gonna be here anytime you ask.
Legal Talk and Libations. Legal Talk and Libations. That's what it's about. Before we close it out, I just wanted to say something to the viewers and let you guys know that, this is going to be something you guys are going to be seeing regularly. My goal is to be consistent, dropping videos weekly for you guys, just knowledge, power, and just understanding when it comes to certain things. I hope that you guys really enjoyed this video. I want you guys to like, comment, and subscribe. If you guys wanted to say happy birthday to me, you can. Just leave it in the comments. And if you want to see anything talked about specifically on my show, or if you want anything that you recommend, really, you can just write it in the comments, and I'm definitely going to be able to see that and, maybe incorporate it into the show. But like I said, I appreciate you guys for even taking the time out to come to Legal Talks and Libations episode 1. It's dropped on the birthday, and we're going to just have a good time moving forward and growing this thing into something big. And I appreciate every single last one of you guys. And Eugene Collins, I appreciate you for being here once again, and I can't wait to see where we can take this thing.
Let's go.
Thank you, guys.